morning everyone, and welcome to our Wellness Wednesday Facebook Live with Dr. Julia. So today we are going to talk about postnatal depression. We are also going to talk about the impact of a baby that is born in a relationship, how it affects the relationship or marriage, how it affects the mother giving the birth, and the impact and the trauma of having a baby has on a woman, on a marriage, on a relationship, and on the family unit. And Dr. Julia and I have chosen this subject because it is Pregnancy and Maternity Wellness Month at Cormaderm, and we have both got, it's very close to home because you have your triplets. They are now 5 years old this year. I have Marcus, he's turning 8, and there has been a lot of things, discussions, talks, awareness with our clients with regards to having children. So the first thing that I want to start with this morning's talk and say is that, again, and Dr. Julia has really taught me the impact of what we call an illusion, an unrealized or an unrealistic illusion. The fairy tale we all believe in, that the living and the loving magazines, that the baby magazines show us of this beautiful baby, and a very good example of the illusion
It's marketing.
is the marketing of Princess Kate and Princess Diana and Fergie. They go and they have their babies, and then literally in 24 hours after the babies are born, all the press is outside of the Linda wing at the hospital, and then Princess Kate or Princess Diana walks out there looking like they've been in Vogue magazine. The hair is done, the makeup is done, they carry the baby and they show the baby to the world. So it's absolutely amazing, the marketing and the pressure society puts on us.
When especially age. I remember when I was medical student in Russia, they taught us you have to have first baby before 25. And I remember one woman came, she was 26, it was the first baby, first pregnancy. And I remember they put note, old mother.
And they told me I was
old
an
mother.
Yes.
I like, what, 26? That is why actually, I don't know what's the difference, but they put it in on your file in the big red letters, old mother. And now I would tell you, because I finished my university a long time ago, I don't tell you, 15 years ago more. And I would tell you now world changed. Before, of course, mothers, you know, with the grannies and everything, it might the 15, 16, 20, first a baby, it was normal. Now world changed. What more important now for women to be independent, career growing, it is a different world. That is why society still put pressure, but actually to fall pregnant now, I would tell you, it's my own opinion, but also when I work with successful women, I think the perfect ideal age, around 33, 38 till 40. When you are mature, you achieve something, you're happy, you can control your life, control your emotions, you are understanding more. That's why I think it is the best time to have a baby, to be ready to be mother. When you have it earlier, I think you still could not find yourself. It's just my own opinion.
Of course, and we all have our own opinions. And that is why we are having this talk today, because remember, you and I have our Wellness Wednesday talks based on our beliefs, our values, our principles. The big thing for me is no one can prepare you for the shock of motherhood.
Yes,
no one. We all think it's a fairy tale. We all think
it's easy,
it's
love,
easy,
it's smiling baby, no crying and everything.
You know, I had a talk with someone in the last week, and this lady says to me, she says, you know, it's such a shock for me being a mother. And she says, you know, Aldi, I'm very open about it, and I will say to people, yes, I love my child, but it's so hard. And then the mothers would say to her, no, you can't say that. It's not hard. Be thankful that you have a child. You know what? We have to be honest. We
Yes.
have to be open and we have to be vulnerable. It's the pressure society puts on us to say, you have to be the perfect mother. You have to be thin again after the baby is born. You have to be sexy after the baby is born. You have to have everything under control. You know, years and years ago, it took a village to raise children.
Mhm.
The whole village pitched in and helped. I mean, you are from Russia. I think you are more in awareness of village living than we are today.
Yes.
We need to be honest and open. Not all pregnancies are wanted. Sometimes a woman can be married and she decided she only wants to have a baby maybe at 35.
Okay.
And then at 28 or 26 she falls pregnant. And that is not how she
Planned.
planned her life. Now that lady is being made to feel guilty because she's upset that she's pregnant. Maybe the lady was on birth control. I mean, the woman did not maybe plan to fall pregnant. Everyone will make that woman feel bad. And that woman will make herself feel bad because she's not elevated or elated or hysterically happy because she fell pregnant. Some women fall pregnant till today, young, 22, 23, 25. I would tell you, my opinion is, if you fall pregnant very young, your body is strong. Your pregnancy is easier and you handle it better in your stride. I became a mother at 33. I didn't have an easy pregnancy. It was for me 9 months of hell. It was very hard for me. And then you get people who say pregnancy is not an illness. Yeah, I agree. Pregnancy is not an illness. I experienced it as very traumatic. I was nauseous until 20 weeks. My body gave me so much nonsense in that pregnancy, during that pregnancy. And I went through a lot of emotional trauma in that pregnancy. So there's no right and wrong. What is just important is, once you decide to fall pregnant, empower yourself and get as much knowledge, empowerment, assistance and support as possible. And take the pressure off yourself for what you think or envision or hope and dream that pregnancy should be.
Yes, because you can't tell what is a healthy pregnancy, what is ideal pregnancy. Everybody has his own experience. Everybody is I would recommend, of course, to care about your emotional condition during the pregnancy. Because emotions, what you experience during the pregnancy, guilt, you don't accept that what's happening now, some fight maybe with relatives, with husband or something. That is why it influence to the child very traumatically. That's why you need to control it. You need to know why you do it and change something, because you must understand, take responsibility for the baby which inside. That's why, because in the future when baby was born, so many now sick babies because of what mother experienced during the pregnancy.
Yeah, well, I can tell you.
Yeah, you know.
I know. I mean, you and I went.
And
The
that
amount
is
of
why-
work we put
yes,
in with Marcus.
Yeah, that is why you see it is that's why it is important during the pregnancy. Do excess bars, do for homeopathic treatments. It's completely safe for you and for the baby. It just benefits because you prepare yourself for labor, which is other step. Yes, it's also not pleasant moment. And also to have a healthy baby in the future. Start immediately when you see in the test you are pregnant.
Yes, and we're going to have a few discussions for the rest of the month on pregnancy wellness, becoming a mother and motherhood. Dr. Julia, you have triplets. Dr. Julia gave birth to the triplets via cesarean. I gave birth to Marcus with a midwife, the natural way, without drugs. Who is now here the president? What does it matter? Her children are healthy and wonderful. She's a good mother. My son is healthy and wonderful. I believe I'm a good mother. Why must there be a competition or judgment with regards to how you birth your children or how you bring your children into the world?
More important, what I see doctors put pressure on you. how to do labor. Because, sorry, I want to tell you, I was in a shock when I came here. I know in Russia they always force us to have a natural labor because it's so important from health issues, because baby must go through this way. It must be slowly, and it's completely very healthy to have it for baby in the future, for immune system when you do it natural. When you take out baby from the womb immediately, and it's completely unnatural, and baby's usually very weak and sick after cesarean. And a lot of doctors, they put the pressure and I think they create unnecessary worry about do cesarean because of it, do cesarean because of it. Please do your own research and listen your heart and intuition, what you want. Ask other doctor opinion, ask third doctor opinion, and try to, I as a doctor recommend to have a natural birth.
Yes.
It's very good for mother and very good. I would do it, but with the triplets it's unfortunately impossible, because it's just impossible. Yeah, and I would recommend you also do more research just about that, how important to have a natural labor.
Okay, so we should actually have a Lekker Facebook Live. Yeah, I use that word, Lekker. Lekker Facebook Live on the types of births. Again, I am always hammering on this. Don't have guilt. Don't allow yourself to be guilty and allow society to pressurize you as the mother. Empower yourself. If you truly feel that you want to birth this baby through a Caesar, birth the baby through a Caesar.
That's fine.
If you truly feel I would like to have a natural birth, have a natural birth.
Which is a lot of women that want to do.
Of course, if you feel I would like a natural birth with the epidural, do that. Just be empowered. Now, this morning we're going to talk about the intensity and the pain of postnatal depression. So, Dr. Julia, did you have postnatal depression?
I had. And I know what does it mean.
Okay. I also had it. How long did you have it?
You see, because I had it first maybe 2 weeks, and after that I recognized I'm crying without reason.
Okay.
I'm too sensitive without any problems. I'm too depressed, too high or too low, and it's understandable with the hormones, because hormones, now you had a baby, hormones changed 9 months. You were different reality. Now baby came out. And now your hormones can't adjust, and because lack of sleep, because now you produce of milk, because now everything recovering there, and actually it's combined with the hormones, which they don't know what to do. It's a very chaos in your endocrine system. That is why it's create extra this postnatal depression. But I know you're very sensitive, depressed. I recognize, because I was like, it's not me. It's just not me. Something happened, and I prepare my homeopathic medication to balance. And after that I can go, because now I'm a mother, my real mother. You can see the babies, because when baby's here you still don't understand. When babies is here you have to deal it nicely, but with the old hormones you can't actually.
It is such a shock to have a child. Please, let's just acknowledge this morning.
Yes, it's a shock.
It is one of the biggest shocks your body and you will ever go through. Whether they give you a Caesar, whether they put you to sleep and taken the baby out, whether you've been awake with an epidural, whether you've birthed your child the natural way with a midwife, it is one of the biggest shocks you will ever go through when you have a child. As Dr. Julia says, it's the hormones that have been different for 9 months. Then suddenly you have to give life to this little human that you've carried. It is a lack of sleep. Your routine has changed. Your body still goes through things after the pregnancy where you feel bloated and uncomfortable and in pain. So you are healing, whether it's a wound here or a wound elsewhere, you are needing to heal from that. You are deciding to breastfeed, so there's changes in your breast area. It is such a shock. Yet everyone goes through this thing that I have to be perfect. And I will tell you, the postnatal depression has various trigger points. My postnatal depression came from the sleep. Marcus woke up literally every 30 to 40 minutes to drink. And the midwife I had, she was a very hard, strict woman. Thinking back today, I see things in a different way. And I trusted her and I believed her, and she did the best she could, but she told me to breastfeed him on demand. And it didn't work. And by the time he was 2 weeks old, him and I had established a routine where he would wake me up every 30 to 40 minutes to drink. Today, at the age of 40, I look back and say, you know what? I should have breastfed him for 7 days, then I should have added formula. I should have breastfed, top up with the formula. Breastfed, top up with the formula. But I had to go through the trauma of being a first-time mother, knowing what I know now, and looking back, yes, I would have done it differently. But during that time, I did the best that I could.
You do the best.
But I will never have those years again. It was a very, very dark time in my life. I loved my son, I love him still. I wanted him, I wanted to be a mother. But I was in such a dark place because of the sleep deprivation. And now he's turning 8. Until today, you know, I have to constantly work on the obsession I have with regards to sleep. So I know my body. And I know that if I don't get sleep, even today, if I don't get sleep, I tend to go down in my mood and get depression. Your postnatal depression triggered because of your hormones and the triplets. It can be from the trauma. What if there was, for example, what if you wanted to birth naturally and then it had to become a Caesar for emergency? That's a trauma. That can trigger postnatal depression.
Everybody, yes, will be different.
There is something that will trigger it. And what makes it worse is the expectation that I have to be perfect. I remember I lost weight in the pregnancy. I lost weight. I lost about 12 kilograms. Luckily I was chubby when I started, so it was good. But when he was born and I breastfed and we didn't sleep and my body started going into trauma and fight and flight, I lost even more weight. And I remember people saying, Aldi wants to impress her husband. She wants to show the world that she can be thin after a baby. How cruel can people be? But it's also a lesson for me. Do not care what other people's opinions are.
Don't care.
No one really knows what you go through when you become a mother and when you have a baby. I didn't want to prove to society that I can be thin after I'm having a baby. You know, when I go through trauma and stress, my body loses weight. So that was one of the traumas I went through. The postnatal depression is not something to take lightly. So what we want to say this morning is that image you have of the perfect mother, the perfect baby, the perfect pregnancy, the perfect birth, release it. Let it go. Get help, get a support system, be in awareness. Prepare yourself, be empowered. So do your research, be strong within yourself and get the right people that support you through it, because for everyone it is different. And again, if you have had a child and you haven't found it to be traumatic, we are very, very happy for you. But 80% of women who birth and become mothers go through deep, deep waters and they hide it. And they're ashamed of it, and they feel bad for it, and that's why we need to address it. The second thing is, it affects the marriage.
It affects a lot of, yes, especially I would tell it was my reason why I divorced. Because,
mine as well?
Yes, because kids, now no time for you to be together, no energy. You always like take a shift who is with the baby, especially for me with 3 kids.
Yeah.
And it's also, you can see how you have, if it's right person around you. It's actually, you can see not a lot of men unfortunately support you in a way. Not a lot of men start change their lifestyle, wake up at night, and it's a huge test. What person is around you, and we did not pass that test.
It is one of the biggest tests there is, because when you marry someone, or you choose to have a child with someone, you have no idea what father this is going to be for your
Yes,
child
you don't
and
know.
what mother this is going to be. I didn't know what mother I was going
Of
to be.
course.
Did you know?
No.
Now you are choosing a partner to have a baby with. You don't know. Is this man going to be a father like this and that and that? And again, we have expectations and we have illusions.
Illusions, yes.
And we need to understand men do not carry the babies for 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Men do not go through what the woman goes through. So it's also unfair to expect the man
Yes, to be the same like you.
to be the same as you, because that is why we are women with wombs and why men don't have wombs. It is such a gamble, and as you say, Dr. Julia, it is such a test. If you ever think that I must have a child to keep a man or to save my marriage, you are making the biggest mistake of your life.
Right.
And a lot of clients get married at a young age. All our girls, I mean, you will read it in my book. We think 25, get married, have a baby, have a family, it will be my happily ever after. Having a child is one of the most testing experiences you will ever have, because your child mirrors for you and for your partner all their wounds and all their unhealed traumas. And that little baby brings it all to the surface for you to acknowledge and release. Children are our greatest teachers. They are our greatest teachers, and our children are the ones who mirror for us our wounds that we need to heal inside. It is a fairy tale to think, I will have a baby, I will be Cinderella, and it's all going to be moonshine and roses. So we need to really understand, and I want to say this morning, if you decide to fall pregnant, before you want to have children, you need to sit with your partner and have a very serious discussion. What is the budget going to look like? Who is going to wake up in the night? Who is going to assist me? What is your expectations as a father? What is my expectations as a mother? We don't do
Yeah,
that.
what you can sacrifice,
What
what
are
you
you
can't
willing to
sacrifice, what type of, what you like, what you don't like. It's extremely important, because actually people, it's sacrifice. You sacrifice yourself. For my problem was also I could not accept that now I can't work properly,
Yeah, be
career
free.
and everything, to be free, because now I have 3 babies. Talk about freedom, how you're going to, and believe me, you can sort it out everything when you talk. When you talk and make a plan, because you can find some help, you can organize shift, but always have time for yourself. And talk.
You see, it's all about communication.
Yes.
And before you start that family, you need to have a very, very deep conversation, not only one,
Yes.
but understanding that this child that is being brought into this life is half of you and half of me. And you as the father are 50% responsible, as I'm the mother is 50% responsible. And yes, initially babies want the mother. The mother is the one who births. The mother is the one who must
Course,
give the
yes.
milk. It's true. But you know what? The father can do so much to support the mother. And the crack in the marriage comes when the expectations are not being met. And you, Dr. Julia, might have completely different expectations
Yeah,
than me.
That's a
You might say, you sleep in that room, I'll sleep in that room, the baby will sleep one night with you, one night with me. I might say, no, why are you leaving the bed?
Yes.
You must sleep there next to me. You don't have to wake up for the baby, but I want you
Absolutely.
next to me.
Yes, yes.
Someone else might say, let's get a night nurse. Let's get a night nurse to look at the baby at night and we sleep in the bed. It doesn't matter what you choose, as long as it's a contribution.
Together.
It needs to be a contribution to the marriage, to the family unit, and to the relationship. Because the more the mother feels supported, the more the mother feels, my husband is here with me, supporting me through this, the happier the mother will be, the happier the baby will be, the smoother the transition will be.
Yes. It's very difficult, because baby takes time. The baby takes money. Baby takes your health, because that then we need to understand your body will never be the same like before pregnancy. And nothing wrong, because we are growing every stage. We have a new body every period of our lives. That's why it's quite, if you have any problems, that's why you can come, because we have a lot of psychological support here. We can discuss and we can prepare your mind and body to fall pregnant, or we can fix, it's already pregnancy happened, you have a baby, you have problems with the husband, we can fix it. Don't worry if you're in the stage like you're a baby already 5-7 years and you still not fix it. Perfect, you can start now, it's never late.
You see, there's always hope. And the reason that you and I are so passionate about it is because we've been through it.
Yes.
And
it's
if our, that's why Dr. Yulia and I are so vulnerable. If our story can help others, if through our life lessons and experience we can empower someone else to not go through it, to not have that, to be in awareness of the trauma, why not?
Or prepare, be nice, prepare, because we did not have these advices. I would, of course, next life I would do it differently. I would be man.
Are you going to be a man?
Yes, no.
She's going to be a man in the next life. This is very funny. When I come back, I would like to be my child.
Oh, okay.
I would like to be Marcus,
okay.
and I would like to be the mother and the child of Mark and Aldi.
Okay.
Because I always joke when I look at that child. It's very important that we embrace and acknowledge the fact that to have a child is a very big adjustment. And to be honest, open and vulnerable, that is where the first step starts. So if you want to fall pregnant, listen to this video. If you are pregnant, listen to this video. If you've just given birth, listen to this video. And if you have children, listen to this video. There is always hope. If you have current postnatal depression, please, it can be treated, it can be healed, it can be fixed, it can be managed. If your children are older and you remember that there was trauma with their birth, trauma with you, even if they are 7, 8, teenagers, it doesn't matter. We can address that birth trauma at any age, at any stage. Because remember, to be born is a trauma and to give birth is a trauma. And that trauma locks in the body and we need to release it and heal it. Marcus had a fantastic birth, but it was still one of the biggest transitions and changes of my life. And it has to be addressed, because if that trauma locks, you get postnatal depression. Your child can be a colic baby. Your child can have a difficult time to sleep or to integrate.
Or eczema or asthma.
Eczema or asthma. So we have to address all of that in a psychological way and then release it from the body. So I think next week we will continue this talk, and next week we are going to talk about the pressure a woman puts on herself to become thin again. How hard women are on themselves if they have gained weight in the pregnancy, and then how they punish themselves when their bodies are not bouncing back. So I'm going to tell a story next week about what I went through and how your body changes when you have a baby. We will definitely address that and hopefully change the perspective of the viewers. We're going to talk about that. The main thing we want to say today is postnatal depression is real. It gets worsened when we judge ourselves and we believe the judgments of others around us. There's hope. It can be treated. It can be shifted. It can be changed. And we have to be open and in awareness of that.
Yes, please think about what you have now if you have a babies. I mean that if you had any traumas, don't hide it, because in the future, if you ignore it, it doesn't mean you fix it.
And it's not to say when you sit with someone and say, it's hard for me to be a mother, or I didn't think it was going to be so traumatic. That doesn't mean you don't love your child.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you did not want your child. It does not mean that you want to take the batteries out and return your child to the shop. That's not what it means. It means that you are acknowledging that it is an adjustment. It is an adjustment. And it's a very, very dark place to be. That place of postnatal depression. It's very dark.
Yes,
but it can be
and
changed.
it could be very long, and it could be destroy your marriage. and it could damage your baby in a physical, emotional, mental level. That's why please do something. Do something. Come to us. We can explain what to do. It must be fixed. The postnatal depression.
And it can be fixed.
It can be.
If you want to fix it, it can be fixed. And husbands, if you see that your wife is going through that, put her in the car and take her to someone who can help her. Sometimes the valley is so dark and low that mommy doesn't see how she's going to get herself out of that. And that's when we need a friend, a mother, a sister, a husband, a brother to help them. I remember my brother was the one who lifted me from the carpet and took me to the doctor. I remember he was the one who helped me. So, you know, thank goodness that there's people in our lives who will help us through that and who can pick us up from the carpet. We are thankful for that.
Yes. Sometimes it's only you who can do it.
Yes, sometimes it's you and sometimes there's angels on our path. And we are here to help. We are here to help because all we want, I'm going to say it, is a life of ease and joy and glory. And once we are in awareness and we are open, that is when the healing truly starts. So we hope that this was an inspiring morning and an inspiring talk to everyone. Share this video please far and wide so that as many people can hear this and know that they are not alone. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our page, Kormadam Wellness Practice, and help me and Dr. Julia to empower everyone to be strong within themselves so that they can live a life of substance. Because the better we feel, the quicker we will heal.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Julia. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.